Now all ingredients with the exact measurements will be given in the description box below. So I'm just going over the ingredients. This is some cabbage which I've chopped very fine. Some fresh coriander chopped fine. This is some besan or chickpea flour. Some rice flour. Some salt to taste. This is ginger garlic paste. Some lime juice. Some haldi or turmeric powder. This is some red chili powder, some asafoetida or hing, some cumin seeds, a little bit of sugar. This is some garam masala. This is a plate that I have just greased with some oil. Now I'm going to mix the chickpea flour, the rice flour, and I'm going to give it a nice whisk so that both the flours mix up very well together. Next I'm going to add my chili powder, my sugar, the cumin seeds, and the asafoetida or hing. Again, I'm going to give everything a good mix. Next goes in the turmeric powder, the garam masala. Again, mix everything well. Now we're going to add some salt to taste. Again, whisk it well. Next goes in the ginger garlic paste, the lime juice. Then goes in the fresh coriander, which is chopped fine, and the cabbage or the Kobi. Now I'm just going to mix everything with my hand so that everything gets mixed very well. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of water at a time. And what we're looking for is a very thick paste, something like you would make when you make kanda bhaji or something, very a thick paste. Now I'm just greased the plate and I'm going to just put it in. Now we want a thin plate, not a very deep dish. Now my steamer has been heating up and the water has been boiling in the steamer. So I'm going to place my plate into the steamer, close it up and put a timer of 10 minutes. And I'm going to let this steam on a high flame for 10 minutes. Now once the 10 minutes are over, I'm not going to open up my steamer, but I'm going to let it completely cool down till I'm able to, open it. It's cool enough to handle. So you can see that I've taken at least about 10 to 15 minutes for the steamer to completely cool, and you can see that it's all set. Now all you have to do is just loosen the vade from the plate by just taking a sharp knife and turning around the edges, and then just cut them up into squares or whatever shape you would like to have your gobi vada in. And then we're just going to heat up some oil and we're just going to deep fry them. Now if you don't want to deep fry them, you can have them just as they are. You can even just shallow fry them very lightly, or you can have them just like that. They taste amazing. Now I'm serving this with some very chilled chutney, which is some green chutney, and I've just added some curd. Through the ingredients. This is 1 cup of chickpea flour or besan. This is 2 tablespoons of fine rava or semolina. This is 1 tablespoon of ginger and green chili paste. This is 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, some salt to taste, half a teaspoon of haldi powder, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 Eno packet, then some water. This is for the phodni or the tadka. Taken 2 light green chilies, a few curry leaves, a little bit of coriander for garnish. Here I have half a teaspoon of mustard seeds, half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, and again 1 tablespoon of sugar. I have my steamer ready. I put some water inside the steamer and started to boil the water, and I've kept this kind of plate on top of it. And here I have just greased this pan with a little bit of oil, or brushed it with a little bit of oil. So let's start making this dhokla. So first I'm going to mix all the dry ingredients, that is the besan, the rava, the salt to taste, the sugar, the haldi or turmeric powder, and I'm going to mix everything well together. Now for the green chili paste, I've taken about 1 green chili and half an inch of ginger. Now I've added about 1 cup of water and I've made this into a thin batter. Not a very runny batter, not a very thick batter. Just 1 cup of water for 1 cup of besan. Now I'm adding 2 tablespoons of oil. And again I'm going to mix everything well together. I'm going to add the lemon juice. Now I'm going to add my green chili and ginger paste. Mix that in well. And now my steamer is ready, and when I'm just ready to put the dhokla into the steamer, I'm going to add the eno and I'm going to mix it up well till the mixture doubles in size. Then I'm going to pour everything into the plate or the greased dish, and I'm going to put it into the steamer. Now I've closed the steamer and I'm going to steam it for exactly 20 minutes. Now after 20 minutes you can see that it starts leaving the sides of the pan, and also if you insert a clean knife you'll get it very clean. So now we're going to transfer this dhokla onto a plate. First I'm just loosen the edges, and then I'm just going to cut them into square size pieces. And now I'm going to prepare my tadka or my phodni. So I've heated about 2 tablespoons of oil. In go my mustard seeds. When they begin to splutter, I'm going to fry the green chilies. Fry them really well. Once that is done, we're going to add in the hing or asafoetida, the curry leaves. Mix everything well together. Then we're going to add in the sugar, and we're going to add about half a cup of water. Now you can turn your gas off and just mix everything well. And now we're just going to pour this over our dhokla and then garnish it with some fresh coriander, and your dhokla is all ready to enjoy. So for today's recipe of Cothimbir vadi, I've taken 2 cups of coriander leaves. I first soaked them in some water to which I've added salt for 15 minutes, washed it well, let it dry, and then chopped it fine. Here is 1 cup of chickpea flour or besan, 4 tablespoons of rice flour, half a cup of water, some salt to taste, 1 teaspoon of sugar. This is 1 teaspoon of roasted cumin powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, 1 teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. This is some turmeric or haldi powder, 2 tablespoons of lime juice, and an inch of ginger which I have just grated, and I've kept my steamer also, already with the water inside. So now I'm going to add the besan to a mixing bowl. To that I'm going to add the rice flour. We're going to mix these two together really well. You can use a whisk that ensures that both the flours get mixed evenly. Now this dish gets ready also very quickly, so it's a nice evening snack or when unexpected guests come. Now I'm going to add my cumin seeds or jeera powder. I'm going to mix that in well. Next I'm going to add my red chili powder, the turmeric or haldi powder, my asafoetida or hing, and the roasted cumin powder. I'm also going to add the sugar as well as some salt to taste. Now we're going to mix all of these ingredients really well together. So now we have all our dry ingredients mixed. I'm going to add in the grated ginger and the lime juice. Again, mix everything really well. And now we're going to add our chopped up coriander. So chop it up really fine. And now we're just going to mix all of this together, and we're going to add a little water at a time to make a kind of a thick dough. To this consistency. Now I've just put a little bit of oil or brushed a little bit of oil to my steel plate like this, and I'm just going to put this mixture onto the steel plate, and I'm just going to press it down like this. Now we want an inch of thickness at least. So just pat it down like this. Now prepare your steamer. Let the water start boiling in the steamer. Put enough water in your steamer, and then just put this on the stand in the steamer and steam it for 15 minutes on a high flame. Let it cool completely. And once it is cooled down completely, you're just going to cut it up into squares like this. So this is what the thickness we're looking for. Now you can eat them just like this if you don't want to, add any oil or you don't want to fry them. But I like to shallow fry them. I don't like to deep fry them, but you could deep fry them also. They become very crispy. But I just like to add about a tablespoon of oil and, fry them on both sides till they're nice and crispy. So we're looking for this kind of a texture where it's nice and crispy on the top and it's very nice and soft in the inside, and it tastes really good. And I like to serve this with a chutney. All I've done is just taken a plain green chutney and added some chilled curd to it. I leave the recipe for the chutney in the description box below, and this is an ideal snack, even a good tiffin item, or just when unexpected guests come. So do give it a try. So let's start making these delicious momos, mince momos, which are going to make in an idli stand or an idli steamer. And they're really very easy to make. So for those of you who have never made momos before, you must try this easy recipe. And I'm also going to share this lovely sauce or dip. Very quick to prepare, very easy to make, and very simple and delicious to eat. So first let's start making the filling for this momos. So what I've done is, in a pan I've taken 1 tablespoon of oil, to which I've added half a kilo or 500 grams of mince, and I'm going to fry this mince till it turns from a pink to a complete white. So this takes about 7 to 10 minutes. After that, you're going to put it into a sieve and you're going to drain off all the liquid. We don't want any liquid for this recipe. So I put a plate and a heavy weight on it and kept it aside for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm just going to take a spoon and separate all of the mince, so that we get this really, loose kind of free moving mince, which is easy to work with. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of green chili paste. Next goes in 2 tablespoons of peeled and finely cubed ginger. So this credit of chopping the ginger, the garlic, the spring onions goes to my husband Abhijit. He is an expert in all of this chopping. He's just too good at it. This is not my forte. So now I'm going to add the 2 tablespoons of finely chopped garlic, 1 teaspoon of pepper powder, salt to taste, Now go easy on the salt because we are going to add some Szechuan chutney as well as some soya sauce, which also has some salt content. Add 1 tablespoon of soya sauce, followed by 1 teaspoon of Szechuan chutney. You can also substitute it with Szechuan sauce, whatever you have at hand. And we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of very finely chopped spring onions. Now you're just going to mix everything really well together. And you will see how everything comes together. The sauces, the ginger, the garlic, and our lovely filling is all ready. So you can set this aside while we prepare a very simple dough for this recipe. So let's prepare this dough. So what I've done is I've taken 1 cup of maida or plain flour, to which I've added approximately 1/4 of a cup of water. And you're just going to knead it like you would with a normal chapati, poli, bread or, roti dough. And then you're just going to drizzle a little bit of oil and really knead it well so it becomes nice and soft and elastic. And you're going to let it set aside for about 5 to 10 minutes. So let the dough rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. After that, you're just going to dust your surface with a little bit of flour. Take a lime-sized ball of the dough. Really roll it well between your palms of your hands. And this is very easy to work with this dough. So now you're going to roll it as thin as possible. And now you're just going to take any kind of mold which gives you a large puri size. So I'm just using the cover of a particular dabba or a container. So I get even sized, puri size or small roti size of the dough, so that all of them have a uniform kind of a shape. So you're just going to make all of these and, set them aside. This makes work really faster rather than making one and filling it up. Or you can even use 2 people over here. So me and my hubby did it together. So I was making the puris and he was filling it up. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take 1 teaspoon of the filling and you're just going to bring it all together in the center. And then you're just going to take the 2 ends like this and fold them together and then just crumple up the top like this so that all the edges come together, and press it really well so it gets nice and sealed. There shouldn't be any opening and there shouldn't be any, mince seen. And what I like to do is I like to cut off the excess of the dough with a scissor. I use the dough again to make more momos. Because you don't want to have a lot of dough when you're eating the momo. You want more of the filling. So I like to do this. So it gives a very nice look as well. And now I prepared my steamer by putting water in it and it coming to a boil. I'm going to brush these molds. I like to use ghee, but you can also go with oil. And I'm just going to place 1 momo in each of the idli molds. This makes work really faster. So I got 16 at a time. And now we're just going to place them in your steamer. And remember the trick. So where the holes are, on top of that will come the momo. Remember that whenever you're making idlis or steaming anything. So on top of the hole comes the whatever you're trying to steam. And you're going to steam this for 12 minutes exactly. After 12 minutes, just open up your steamer and look at the momos. They've completely changed from an opaque dough that you can actually see the filling through and through. So it will come into a transparent dough with the steaming. And you can see that they've not even stuck to the mold because you've brushed it with some ghee. So from the filling and the dough that I used, I got approximately about 26 momos. Look at them, friends. They look so delicious, and you have to have this steaming hot. So now let's prepare this yummy sauce or dip that goes very well with these momos. Now for this, what I've done is, to a bowl, I've added 1 tablespoon of Szechuan chutney. Like I said, you can also use sauce. Now I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. This is not sponsored by Viva, but we use a lot of the Viva sauces because they have a wide range of Viva, of sauces and dips. Next, you're going to use 1 tablespoon of tomato ketchup, 1 tablespoon of soya sauce, and half a tablespoon of vinegar, and mix everything well together. Now you can adjust the taste according to what you like. You can add more ketchup, it's according to your taste. And that's it, guys. Just dip these amazing momos into this dip or this sauce and enjoy. Please let me know your feedback, and those of you who have not made momos before, just try it out, give it a try and you will love these momos. So I hope you do give this recipe a try. Go and check out all my other recipes. I've got so many, more than 2000 recipes on Akshata's recipes with an apostrophe. So friends, let's make this delicious and healthy pomfret dish. Lovely steamed pomfret without any oil at all. Now first we'll have to grind this chutney or this paste. So let's go through the ingredients. So here I have 1 cup of freshly grated coconut. This is 3/4 of a cup of fresh coriander, some salt to taste, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 6 cloves of garlic, 1 inch of ginger, 1 teaspoon of cumin or jeera, 1 small onion, about 5 green chilies cut into half, and the juice of half a lemon. You can also use the juice of an entire lemon if you like it more tangy. Now we're just going to grind all of this into a very thick paste. So I'm just adding the lemon juice, and you're going to use as less water as you can. You want a very thick paste. So I ended up using just about 2 tablespoons of water, because the fish, when it's steaming, oozes out or leaves out some moisture. Otherwise it becomes very, very soggy. That's why don't add water, a lot of water, to this chutney. Now here I'm just showing you 2 medium-sized pomfrets. I made the chutney for a lot more, but just for the video I'm showing you all 2. Now I've washed the pomfrets, removed all the insides, and I've got to cut the pomfret on one side like this, on a big cut, and on the other side I've just taken some slits. Now I've requested my fisherwoman, who is very, very sweet, and I've been going to her regularly, to just cut up the pomfret in this manner, clean out all the inside. So all I had to do is bring it home and just wash it really well. And now all we have to do is just put this beautiful stuffing inside the fish. So be very generous with the stuffing, because that really brings out all the flavor. And that is what this dish is really about, the amazing coconut chutney that goes into it. Now since we're not using any oil, this dish is so healthy. It's very good for those of you who want to eat as less oil as possible, or are on a diet. So this is a very healthy dish. So just put in a generous amount into the slit like this. And one tip I could give you here is use the back side of a spoon, a teaspoon, to just push in the stuffing to the entire, inside of the fish. I'll show you how. So here I've just taken a teaspoon, and I'm using the back of the teaspoon. Okay, and you're just going to use the stem of it and just push it in so that it goes to all the parts of the fish. Now I want to thank 2 people for sharing this amazing recipe with me. One is my sister-in-law, Dr. Anagha, and my other very best friend, Pavitra. She has shared many recipes with me. She's also been on my channel, if you'll remember, to show Bisi Beli Bath. And her husband Sachit showed the lovely gajar ka halwa. So thank you guys for sharing this recipe with me. So now we are going to apply the remaining paste on top of the pomfret and push it inside the slits that you've made on the pomfret. So use a very sharp knife, or like I said, these fisherwomen, they have a very, very sharp koita. They do it very well. So request them, they do it. They clean the fish and give you also. If you have a regular fisher lady like I do. Okay, so now this part is done. So now, like you can see on the other side, there's no paste. So I'm going to apply the paste over there also. Now you can apply a very thin layer, but I like the taste of this, chutney. So I'm applying a little more generous amount. So now our fish is ready. Prepare your steamer, and this time put a lot of water into your steamer. Now I brought this banana leaf. Buy a very large banana leaf, and there should be no cuts in the banana leaf. Wash it well, very gently, because it is a very delicate leaf. It can tear. So be very careful when you're, washing the banana leaf. Buy a big, huge one without any cuts. And then with a sharp scissor, just cut around the thick part of the leaf. Right now I can't remember what it's called, but
let me know in the comment section for those of you who are really good at it. And you just discard that part. And now very gently, like I said, these leaves are very delicate, they just tear, so be very careful by extra leaves, and they're pretty reasonable. And now you're just going to cut them into these large squares. Just take a kind of a, just eyeball it depending upon the size of your fish, how large an amount of, how big a square or rectangle you require. See that there are no brittle parts, there are no, delicate parts that will tear. Now we're going to apply just a little bit of water. Now some people, what they do is they also just warm the leaf on top of a flame. That way also it becomes very elastic. But I heard that you can put a little water. And now just place the fish in the center of the leaf. Now this banana leaf also, it adds a lovely flavor to this dish. Now just fold both ends like this. Be very gentle and take a large piece of twine or thread, thick thread. Don't use the very thin thread which we use for sewing. Use a thick thread and just tie it up like this. Tie it nice and tight so it doesn't open. So one parcel is done. In the similar way, I'm going to put the other one also. Like I said, keep your steamer nice and ready. Now I'm going to, if you don't have a steamer handy, just check out my description box and my comment section. I will show you how to steam this if you don't have a steamer. Or if I can during the video, I will do it. Otherwise, I will write it in the description box. So put enough water in your steamer. See that the water is boiling nicely. And then just place this, on the perforated part of the steamer. And you're going to steam this on a high flame for 15 minutes, just like you would do with idlis, etc. And after 15 minutes, let your steamer cool completely. Don't be in a hurry to open it. And you'll see the color of the leaves have changed completely. They were a nice light green, they become a dark green color. That is a sign that it's nice and cooked. So now we're going to open it. Just take a scissor and cut open the twine or the string. And you smell the beautiful fish and the chutney, and it is so amazing. So when you dig into it, you can see that it is nice and cooked, and the white flesh of the pomfret is nice and tender and cooked. So do try out this dish, guys, and of course put a lot of lemon juice when you're serving it.